Oh, I fucking hate. That's the worst character. They're just so fucking creepy. Human or Gnosia. Normally this would feel like the final loop though, with how they're directing it, right? That's a good shield. That's a very good shield. I can know the truth, and I don't know how we don't support Rocket right now. Like, he seems too good. I mean, why would a Gnosia beg to have the votes happen again? Especially, I wonder if one will switch. Yo, he's pulling a Shigemichi! Please don't send me to sleep. So Jonas could still be the last Gnosia, but Jonas could... I mean, out of all the characters, which is the character that makes the most sense trying to fuck things up? Jonas. It's not Renmin, it's not Chippy, it's Setsu, right? Oh, Jinna was the... Oh! That makes a lot of sense, actually. And the funny thing, too, is he's not actually far off from the truth. One of them has to be real, but nothing can guarantee that the claims are real. I didn't investigate, you son of a bitch. Bro has to fucking die knowing that he didn't even investigate him. Gnosia doesn't miss. The past 2 episodes of this show have delivered the thing that I've been waiting for. Not a single episode loop, no, we got that multi-episode loop. And this was arguably the most important for Yuri to secure a W on, because if he does, apparently we'll finally get some information. The issue with this loop was they introduced something called the AC follower, which the follower is human, but they're a troll. Their entire purpose is to fuck with things. In this case, it was Jonas, who pretended to be an engineer. And honestly, this was stressful. It was so stressful that I thought this was the final loop. Like, this was our make it or break it. We need to make sure everything's perfect because we got no do-overs. That's the type of stress and importance they put on this loop. And I gotta be real, I thought Yuri was fucked at the end. I really did. I thought it was game, set, match. Given that we still have a handful of episodes left, maybe you fuck up here, you gotta rebuild some trust. I didn't know what they were going for, but by the end, the logic made sense. And to be honest, it's not to say there's always going to be an AC follower, but there's no way to confirm if one's on the ship or not. So as far as we know, there could have been followers in previous loops that we had no idea about. And that's why I think this show is so impressive to me. I've been saying it since like the 2nd or 3rd episode. The fact that usually a show would have already showed its cards, you would know the type of tricks it uses. They're still introducing tricks damn near 75% of the way through a story. And that's fucking impressive. Of course, if you got this far in the video, make sure you drop a like though, show your support. Subscribe if you happen to be new around here, ring the bell, stay up to date on everything Gnosia and more. If you want to go the extra mile, Patrons where you'll catch my full live reactions to every single episode. It does help fund the channel as well, so do consider supporting. So, this show is a head scratcher, and I have to say, I always love the visual style that they go for with the, almost like the little hologram diagnostics of how we're trying to present things. Just such a clever way to get across information in a non-boring and non-linear way. When it came to the very last night, right? So, we had the scariest fucking character, mind you. But turns out it doesn't always have to be the scariest character. She actually turned out to be on our side this loop because it was very clear that Yuri was, you know, on her side and not to be messed with. So it's really interesting when you see how crazy she can go and, you know, her Here Johnny moment. But she's the entire reason why Yuri didn't get killed that night, and unfortunately she did. Because what ends up happening with that whole tie is a first for us. There was a 5 vote for Yuri and a 5 vote for Ratio, right? And what ends up happening is Yuri begs and pleads, let's do a do-over, right? Like, let's vote, because if we delay by a day, she's going to get killed, and then no matter if they vote a Gnosia off or not, the other Gnosia will just kill Yuri next, right? So this is basically a self-sacrifice moment, and honestly, respect to her, because I'm pretty sure she knew that was going to happen. The thing about this son of a bitch is I hate them whether they're Gnosia or human. They get under my fucking skin, and it's hilarious to think the only time they've ever been nice to Yuri is when Yuri had tits. Biggest pervert in the fucking series. But the thing is that Yuri had a very impossible task, because Yuri decided to investigate Chippy at the end, and Chippy came back human. Now, I personally thought Renmin. I was like, hey, let's investigate Renmin, right? Investigating Jonas right now probably won't give us any information that we need, right? Because Jonas is probably the follower, but even if it turns out to be true, are we going to be able to convince? Probably not. Renmin on, like, early on is like, I'm a doctor or whatever, right? The reason they were able to lie because we eliminated the real doctor early is a super brilliant way, because when Russia ends up going to sleep, they're very convinced that I got you. Like, you're not going to see through the trap. And I wasn't like, I was so set on like Setsu or something, because Yuri, even for a brief moment, considers the possibility, right? Like, what if it's Setsu, maybe someone else? The idea, Yuri got really lucky, I think, that he wasn't the one to present the information first. Thank God Jonas was like, I investigated Renman, and that's a Gnosia. Because at that point, doubling down, you can't deny it. Like, you have to vote it out. It's so funny because the Gnosia got so complacent with the fact that humans don't lie, that Yuri, being the real engineer, whoever they investigate, right, you would have to be honest about. So when Redmond gets sacrificed, this is kind of like a, well, of course you knew, right? Because you investigated. It's like, no, I fucking lied, you doorknob. It's just such a brilliant arc, because the thing about a show like this is it'd be very easy, and I've seen it plenty of times with death games or elimination games, these types of shows, where it's like, okay, yeah. But honestly, when you go back and you consider day by day, that's why I really liked when they went back onto day 3 or whatever, and they replayed the scene where he comes forward as the doctor or whatever. Such a brilliant moment, because it really does show how well thought out this is. And I talked about it before, a month or so back. The fact that there really was only one option to make this show work, and I'm so happy they got the right people involved, because there was a whole interview thing about like, hey, like, we knew we needed so-and-so because otherwise the show just wouldn't probably work out successfully in anime. And you can really tell, right? Like, this is a show that just not any writer, not any director could nail. And to be honest, it hasn't missed. It really hasn't. I'm 100% convinced this show's going to end as a 10 out of 10. I don't think there's any reason for me to say it's lower than that right now. Some people say that's glazing. Personally, I don't give a fuck. This show knows what it's doing. Setsu seemed quite proud of us here. I generally wonder, maybe Setsu's probably up to this point lied as well as a human. Maybe it's kind of like, Yuri, you're growing on me. Or just very satisfied with that we won, because, hey, it's better than dying, even if you guys respawn, right? I don't know exactly what the punchline will be, what information will be revealed, but this does bode well. Every single person was on this ship, on this loop. And while, yes, some didn't make it, it was overall successful. With the amount of pressure that was there, Yuri came out on top, and that bodes well for them, because when there's no longer a respawn orb in your face, you're gonna need to be able to cook under pressure, you know? Past 2 episodes, fan-fucking-tastic. You let me know your thoughts down below. Make sure you drop a like, share your support, subscribe if you're new around, to ring that bell, and Patreon is where I catch my full live reactions, all these episodes, including last week's, because we didn't do last week's on YouTube, so he's kind of bundled it as one arc on here. But yeah, full live reactions over there, and while you're over there, we'll even give you a video shout-out because I love my patrons that much. So today we got Mobita, Himi Meow Toga, Misto Dreamer, Kusho, Sebastian Price, Jewel, James, Aris Cotters, and we also have Justin Hayes. So I appreciate the support. Please take care. You all have a good one.